My name is Celeste Bickford. I am a student in anthropology, linguistics, and mountain studies, and I am going to be in the print studio working on my senior thesis this semester. This is the piece that I will be submitting to the ZACC Print Exchange. My hope here is to connect themes of brain chemistry and anthropology. This is the structure of vasopressin, and this is oxytocin, both chemicals that are released in your brain that cause people to form bonds with each other. And so I wanted to juxtapose this process because the process I'll be using, the photo process, is the same process that you use to make circuit boards, but I did this painting with sticks and leaves and my fingers in the same way that cave artists would have made cave art. And so the statement that I'm trying to make is kind of about the old and the new, and old processes and new processes of both making art and of falling in love, and that the chemicals and the product are still the same.
And your timing is great because the show is on Valentine's Day.
Exactly, and I think that might be why the theme was chemistry. In this secret-looking bag, I have some photosensitive paper, which will end up going onto this piece of degreased copper. This is water with a little bit of dishwashing liquid. And then I'm going to develop it, and then I'm going to print it. And then those two things will go into the light box right here. And this is going to be laid down on top of the copper with the photosensitive paper on it. I'll then expose it, and the parts that I've painted on here will not get exposed into the plate, and then the photosensitive paper will get put in a development bath and then wiped out, and then that's what I'm going to use to make my prints.
Hi there, I'm James Bailey. I'm a professor in the School of Art here at the University of Montana. I teach all levels of printmaking, and I've been printmaking for about 25 years or more at this point. And the piece I did for the PrintFest portfolio is called Selenium, or SE, and it's one of the elements on the periodic table. And I've been working with a lot of students' projects the last several years where I've been having them slowly make each designing their own element for the table so that eventually we'll have an entire periodic table of printmaking. So I decided since it's good enough for my students, I would do one myself. So the image itself has elements of the structure of the actual selenium molecules, as well as a lot of what the things are used or found. So it's found in things like Brazil nuts and fish and meats. So you'll see references to that. You'll see it's used in coal production, so you'll see references to coal trains and smokestacks and things like that in the print as well.
Hi, I'm Beth Huhtala. I'm a first-year MFA candidate here at the University of Montana. I'm actually a Wyomingite. I've been in Wyoming since just last year, so this is my first venture out into the world, and this is my studio. So this print is actually an embossment from an actual deer face pelt, so you can kind of see where his eye holes were and his nose protrudes downward and all of his fur. And what I actually did is just ink up the actual pelt that I skinned from the deer face and then pressed it to this thinner paper, and I just hand pressed it. And it's actually based on an ancient technique I've been studying in printmaking called goyotaku, which means fish printing, which is an 18th century Japanese printing technique. I'm completely obsessed with working with wildlife and everything about them, especially in their more dead states.
I'm Tressa Jones. I'm a graduate student at the School of Art at the University of Montana. This is my studio space here in the Fine Arts Building. I make a lot of woodcuts. I'm interested in building up kind of a library of plates and blocks and screens and working more intuitively to mix and match and layering, create these heavily layered prints. I have a personal interest in in health issues and environmental issues, and kind of see agriculture as a place where these two areas merge, since the food people eat and the way the land is managed agriculturally relates directly to both the environment and human health. This was the print I created for the ZACC's Last Best Print Fest, and the portfolio theme was chemistry, and I decided to pull symbols from alchemy about the process of making nitric acid, which is the only acid that that will not dissolve gold, and also an acid that's commonly used in printmaking, in zinc plate etching.
All right, I'm Monika Thompson, and I did a screen print for this project and experimented a little bit with bleach on a cotton paper, as my background is actually in textiles, and I dabble in screen printing for fun.
And it's turning green, which is a good thing. So yeah, I'm kind of slowly transitioning from cut stencils to this more detailed process.
And did you go to school for it, Monika?
I went to school for graphic design and textiles.
Oh, awesome.
So no.
But
like
the textile
self-taught and
the
things.
textile aspect probably helps.
Uh-huh.
That's awesome.
Although I did more with weaving.
My name is Abby Sweet, and my introduction to printmaking was with Elizabeth Dove. I took 2 semesters of intaglio printmaking with her, and so that's what got me interested. I love intaglio, I love working with copper, and I'm experimenting more and more with screen printing too, so I enjoy combining the 2 of those, and I hope to do more of it.
Hi, I'm Jillian Poole, and I am participating in the Last Best Print Fest. Well, when I test printed, some of the inks got into the crevices due to pressure issues, and so I'm just going back through and clearing out some of those lines that I saw that have filled in, so that when I do the final print, that they're nice and clean. I have a printmaking degree. We want to get a sizzle sound when we ring the. Right now it's a little wet sound. That's too much ink, so I'm going to work it until I move it out. Oil to be. Just make sure it's secure. I have to hold it down.
The most exciting part.
Yeah, the reveal. It's almost like Christmas morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ta-da.
So yeah, I think the oil on the plate was causing it to not adhere to it, so it could use more ink. So my take on the chemistry was the relationship between the human and its nerves. So I've done this print on relief print on Centra called "You're Getting on My Nerves."
Hi, my name's Forrest, and I'm part of the Print Fest this year. I'm also the one that's putting together this short film. For my print, I made a silkscreen kind of 3-layer image. What I'm working on right now is just making some layers for my screen print. So with the drawings, I was able to transfer those, and now I have these 2 layers on the screen. I wanted to make something, I wanted to make a chemical bond as my art piece, but when I was looking up the structure on the internet, in my search bar, I put chemical, and then it like filled in chemical bath, and I was like, chemical bath, what's that about? And then I looked, and it was about our toxic world. It was this website that was all about the kind of the chemicals surrounding us in our food and water and just air. and I was like, oh wait, this could be kind of fun and interesting. And then that's when I came up with this image about you know, just going outside and needing to get prepared to protect yourself from our toxic world. This is something that I silk screened there on my hat, and also this year I've been doing a lot of like Patricia Thorton has been my mentor and teaching me intaglio and working with copper plates and so forth, so I've been dabbling in that as well. Hello,
Hi.
Patricia.
Hi, Forrest. I'm Patricia Thornton, and I am the print shop manager at the Zootown Arts Community Center, and the person who's in charge of the Last Best Print Fest this year. I'm taking it over. First year I'm taking it over this year. It was run by some fantastic printmakers throughout the years, and so it's been fun and quite a challenge to take on.
Yeah, because you're not only running it, but you're also in the show.
I'm in the show. So first thing I did was flats of pink and green and yellow and different colors. Then I cut them up and sewed these little boxes. So this is the Xeroxed copy of my drawing. And so I have to draw graphite on the back, and then I scribble. Printmaking is all about reproduction. So I wanted to do a process that wasn't as traditional. This is so much fun because my mom, this is the one thing my mom and I did together, was sew. And my grandmother was a professional seamstress. And I try to go really fast. It makes it fun for me.
Nice.
The finished piece.
I'm Katie Kaiser. This is my studio here in Missoula. I've been here for about 2 years. My background, I have a BA in art from MSU, and I'm currently a graduate student here in the geography department.
What is overall like some of the things that just inspire you as an artist? What path do you follow?
I'm really hooked on conceptual art, just in general, and dealing with kind of more difficult conversations. We can't express with just normal words. I'm not very interested in reproducing things that we see every day or very easily seen, but rather, exploring a concept or a motivation. But this one is called Encore, and it's kind of this circus elephant's last performance, and it's kind of this sad little, most of my art is kind of sad. For the show, when presented with chemistry, I started, I actually ended up doing 2 prints. The first one I didn't like so much, and then I ended up screwing up my edition, and thank God I did that like back in December, so I had plenty of time to do another. But I ended up doing a screen print of kind of my thoughts on chemistry, this idea of alchemy, kind of being the beginnings of chemistry and how we want to, when we look at, alchemy, it established these artisans or scientists, if you will, at that time really wanted to, produce gold. That was the main, endeavor, and so trying to produce gold from lead, and they tried and we know that can be done, but that was kind of the origins of modern day chemistry, and so I was kind of excited exploring that idea of failure. And I know it's just like Valentine's and everyone loves each other and we're doing happy things, but really that's what my print is about, it's about failure and not actually making it. And so I actually use the alchemy symbol for gold for the title of my piece.
My name is David Miles Lusk, and I'm from Missoula, Montana, and I'm primarily a block printer, but I dabble in all sorts of other things, and definitely not a traditional printmaker at all. I use my prints in a lot of collage work and mixed media pieces. It's me, I'm using colored pencil, acrylic paint, pastels, watercolors.
And this is your press?
Yep. She's a beaut.
Yeah, you can.
Captain.
Captain of the ship.
This is my ship. Yeah. The theme of the show is chemistry, and I've always been pretty fascinated with the senses as an artist. I think that's pretty important to be into. And the nose is actually one of probably the oldest scent known to animals or all living creatures. And basically it works as a chemical process. A chemical molecule drifts into your nose and it locks into basically a socket, and that's how your nose reads smell.
So once you make a print, I mean, they last forever. You can keep going back.
These
to
MDF
them.
boards, actually, it's really inexpensive wood, which is why I use it. I might be able to get like 20 similar good prints out of it before it starts to like smudge in and smash down. But
so it does start to.
It does for a while, but there are things that I printed like so many of. Like I printed this one, elephant, over and over again, and
Still
even
going.
when it's squished down a little bit, it looks good. I don't know, I'll probably stick around Missoula and try to just support the printmaking community here as much as I can and get people into it.
Yeah, so we'll be seeing you in the Print Fest again.
Definitely.
Year
I
after
will be
year.
there.
Nice.